geofence setup in On Location. In this video, we will show you how you can set up a custom shaped geofence in your On Location mobile to allow auto sign in and out of employees and selected contractors. You will need to be an administrator in your account to be able to complete this. From your home screen, we go up the top here to locations and select the drop down. From the drop down here, you can select the location that you need to set that up for, providing you do have administrator access for that location. I'll select the Wellness Centre. From here, we're going to come over here onto On Location Mobile. In the general settings, we do need to make sure that we have it set up to allow our employees and or contractors to be able to sign in and out, so it's selected as yes. The geolocation reporting, you can say whether you want to include just the SOS stuff, don't have any location data, or all of the location data. You can select to have the follow me made mandatory by reading all of through this. Once you've done that and made sure that part is set up, we select the save option, and now we'll come over here to the auto sign in and out. So from here, we want to select yes, we want to enable auto sign in and out, and select how it is that you would like your employees or contractors to sign in. Is it automatic as soon as they cross the geofence? Do you want them to receive a push notification prompt saying you're crossing the fence? Select, the sign in button to sign in, or of course you can turn that off. Please note that if you do have any custom questions set up for your sign in of either your contractors or your employees, they will not auto sign in when they cross the geofence. They will be prompted because you have set the custom questions that they will need to answer. We also have the same for the sign out options. Again, you can choose automatic, prompt only, or turn that off. When we come down to the bottom here, you'll see that we have our map based on the address that we have set up in the location details, and you'll see that we have a circle in here. So this is actually picking up the Google Maps location of the address we have in the location details. So with this one, we actually don't want to have that circle here. We do want to custom do our particular zones. And again, you'll need to have your zones set up in your system up here as well if you have multiple zones. From here, I generally find it's a little easier if we make the map as big as we can. We'll scroll that down to make sure we can see everything. At the top of the map up here, we do have just let me make that smaller so you can see that. We have this option here. Once I click on that, that will allow me to draw the shape or custom draw my geofence. Okay. So I'll click on here and I'll come through. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to scroll my mouse in a little better so I can get into my location and see the places that I need to do. So of course you can scroll up or hit the plus to make that a little bit more where you need it to be. So as I scroll down a little bit, I actually do need to come in here. The first thing I'm going to add in is of course our first location, which I got a little bit too big for. Alrighty, so I'm going to draw our location around here. So this is the building that one of our zones is around. So you'll see I'm just moving my mouse along, putting a mouse click where I want that to go, and I'm going to go through and join that. So you'll see that I've drawn around what our particular building is in here, and you will notice if I scroll back out a little bit, I have that big circle around it. So it is a requirement that we have a radius of at least 100 meters around the building that we have for the system to be able to work. Now this is something that we can't shorten or change. So if your buildings are very close by and your 200-meter radiuses actually do hit each other or go into each other, the system is not going to sign people out of this zone as they go into the zone that is connected inside here as well. Now I've drawn our first one through, so I'm just going to make the map a little smaller again. So I'm going to drop that down and I will scroll that out. You'll see down the bottom here I have the managed zones. The first one is the blue one that we have here, which was based on the address of the location. So I'm going to click here and remove this, and I'm going to hit the bin option. From here I still have my purple one. I'm going to edit that and I'm going to select the zone that I have set up in the system for this particular area. So this one here is the Hordern Pavilion. So we'll just go in and select that that's the Hordern Pavilion. And I've now created that particular zone for that building. Now I can go in and add in another building, so another zone that's on the same address here. Again, I'm going to click on that expanding. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so I can actually see the next one that I need to go through. So you'll see here, my next area is this section here. So I'm going to click on my draw again, and I'm going to go through that process again. So you'll see over in the section near where it says Sydney Cricket Ground, I've got a little cross that is my mouse. So I'm going to, where I need to start that, I'm actually going to select, press my mouse. You can see the line if I move it around a little bit, so you can see I can do all different types. So this one here, I'm going to make it quite long, and I go through, put my mouse there, I can click here. If need be, you can see I can go out to here. So I can do all sorts of shapes. Just remember that whatever I do, it is going to have that 100-meter radius around the outside. So that whole thing there. So this is my second zone that I have created. And when I look at that, I realize, oh, that might be a little bit too big. It's not quite what I need to do to go through there. So I'm able to shrink that in just by grabbing that spot that I want to shrink in. So if I put that back, I can move that up this way, move that up this way, or of course you can completely delete that and restart. So if I move that up the top there, you'll see that my circle has moved a little bit further up. Now that I'm happy with that, I'll actually close that off or make that a little smaller again. Come down and you'll see I've got this down here is my new geofence that I set up. So again, I'll set the edit button, select my zone, and this one is the Sydney Cricket Ground. So I'll select the Sydney Cricket Ground and Allianz, and you'll see I've now got my two locations or two geofences configured in the system. So again, I'll actually make that map a little bit bigger, and I'll just minimize that down a little bit, and you'll see here's my first zone. So if I click on that, there is my first zone. I can make that a little bit smaller again, and there is my second zone just there. So you can have up to 5 zones on your account. It does need to be on the same address. So if you have different addresses in different streets, we can't be adding different ones on the one location. Okay, I'll make that a little smaller, and we'll come down here and I'm able to hit the save button. So now my employees, once they've downloaded the On Location app, when they're sent their invitation and their passwords, they'll be able to start signing in and out. We do ask that your employees and contractors that you do set up for the On Location mobile, we need to make sure that they have the most current and up-to-date version on their phones at all times. So as soon as they receive the notification to update, please update that. It keeps it going as properly as it should.